Hey, you guys, welcome to Speak to Sports. My name is Cindy, and we want to start this show off by saying one player quietly wrecked a championship season. Philly, misery loves company, and we didn't even get to enjoy a Super Bowl championship team. It's unimaginable how one person could be so downtrodden that he can drag not only his team, but the fan base down with him because of him being so unhappy. Fresh out of a Super Bowl win, the team starts a new season 4-0. Confidence high, locker room locked in. Then AJ Diva Brown takes his complaints online because he's not getting his stats. The hell with Jalen Hurts having maybe 12 straight wins, 4 into the new season. He didn't care about that because it's all about me, not about being a team player. And I don't even know how in the hell he became a team captain because he is not for the team. He's for himself. But not enough credit. Suddenly the energy shifts. He finally gets fed what he was whining about, and getting in the face of the quarterback, the coach, and everyone else that he wants to ball. But I think in actuality, he was competing against Smitty, who actually had a better passing record than AJ Diva Brown had. But he wants to be the star of the team. All the focus is not supposed to be on coming off a championship. It's supposed to be on him. How in the hell did that happen? How do you win a championship and be so scrutinized to the level of the Eagles and especially the quarterback, Jalen Hurts? How does that happen? How do you become the MVP and you go through hell that you couldn't even enjoy a championship season because this man said it didn't mean anything to him winning a Super Bowl? He made us all feel it. Good job, drama queen AJ Diva Brown. Playoffs in one and done. Knocked out by 49ers, who was no comparison to the Eagles. No comparison. But when you got drama and you don't have chemistry in the locker room, when you have division on the team because you have a player that's causing division, it trickles down to the entire team. It trickles down from the owner to probably the custodian. And superstar talent, self-inflicted damage, dynasty dream derail. So my question is, do we want to go through this another year? Do y'all want him to drag us another year? Who didn't get the memo? What's that little young man's name? I should have had his video, how he said, look, AJ Brown, you need to be packing your bags and you need to be going. I love you, but you caused too much damage to the Philadelphia Eagles team. And I don't care how great he's supposed to be, the Eagles will never win another Super Bowl as long as they have to focus on his stats and not wins. As long as he wants to be combative with the quarterback, how is he supposed to do his job? How is he supposed to do his job when AJ Brown feels as though the team main goal is to focus on what he wants and his desires? AJ is toxic and he needs to find a new home. He can go back to the Titans, and maybe that's why they gave him away for nothing. They wanted to get that toxic behavior out of the locker room. But they want to put on Jalen Hurts, right? Who's had 5 OCs. Every year he had to learn a new playbook. Every year everybody wants him to do something differently. And when he accomplished what they want, he can't throw down the middle. He did in college. When he can't do this, everything they say he can't do, he does. When he can play stress-free, pressure-free, from not having to focus on a diva, then it's no problem for him to win. He's a winner. Everyone still wants to compare him to a Josh Allen. You saw what happened to Josh Allen. Did you see the game against Bo Nix and the Broncos? It was unbelievable. He's crying. Now they're talking about Josh Allen. But y'all wanted to compare Jalen Hurts, who have taken us to not one Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowls, won a Super Bowl, was the best player in both. And all he get is grief. He's not this. He's not good enough for this. Maybe if he had the same OC that can spend some time to develop him, whatever shortcomings y'all think he might have, because I think as far as I can see, he's a winner. Lamar Jackson don't have a Super Bowl. Josh Allen don't have a Super Bowl. Prescott don't have a Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield don't have a Super Bowl. All the people y'all want to compare him to. Cam Newton, one of his biggest haters, he ain't win no goddamn Super Bowl. So maybe his way actually works. And you know what? He can do it. And he has shown what he can do. And as long as I'm an Eagles fan, Jalen Hurts, you ain't have nothing to worry about. What you won't say, I will. Because guess what? In this dog-eat world that we live in, if you're passive, they are going to walk all over you, especially in the media. You got to be like you got to be like Draymond Green for the Warriors. You got to be like AJ Brown. How did he get to skip the? Now he got everything to say, but this coward caused us to lose in the playoffs. Mr. Butterfingers himself. But now you want to still do those little antics. Take your ass on. He got to leave his jersey symbolically. That I guess he said he's off the team. I hope to God you are, because you are driving us to, we're spiraling down to the bottom with you. Then he's liking these other cryptic messages. His antics are just getting ready to start back up. And, you know, when someone is miserable, what can you do about it? Misery loves company, but I know what he did was absolutely cowardly. Face the music. Jalen had to face the music. Saquon had to face the music. Smitty had to face the music. What makes you so special? And you still haven't opened up your mouth as of yet, but you got Shady McCoy out there trying to put it, oh, I got some inside information. They said he can't do this. Guess what? He's a winner, Shady. And it wasn't because of AJ Diva Brown. You know what I don't like, Shady McCoy, is when someone try to throw someone else under the bus to stand on someone else's shoulders. I don't like when you got to put him down to put up AJ Diva Brown. I don't like when people do that. Jalen Hurts has thrown this man under the ground. People don't go throwing this other man under the ground. But you found it necessary to hate on a former Eagle player. You had the audacity to feel as though that it was okay for you to shit on the quarterback because of your relationship with AJ Diva Brown. Why don't you tell him get his ass back and do a media interview? You didn't want to say nothing about him and his character and him causing the Eagles to lose. You know, if you have that type of toxic behavior in your office, or if you playing team sport, when you have that type of imp around you, you're not going to win because everyone has to be one unit. You have to play together as a team. You can't have one person thinking that everything revolves around him. And he is not the best player on the team. He is not the best wide receiver on the team. And guess what? We can do better without him. There are other wide receivers that are better than him and just as good as him that would be happy to be on the Eagles, that would be happy to catch balls thrown to him from Jalen Hurts, that will work along with the quarterback. Without trying, ever since you've been with the Eagles, you've been a headache for him. Who the hell wants to go to work and they got this headache every damn day? Every day he got to deal with your toxic behavior. I mean, they should have gotten rid of you a long time ago, and I'm sorry that they did.
Joe, he had been talking all year. Yeah. He had been contaminating the locker room. Everybody having, how many times did they ask Sirianni, Ocho, you never had Mike Brown have to ask you to tone it down. Mike, Mr. Bowler, rest his soul. Art Modell, rest his soul. Never had to ask me to tone it down.
Right.
You had all of this to say when you weren't getting the ball. Now I want you to be man enough to stand. You had some opportunities, AJ. What happened? That ain't how you do business.
Yes, sir.
That ain't how you do business, Ocho. We've all had games we'd like to have back.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't ask for something, and then when you get it, that's a horrible look.
Yeah.
That is a horrible, horrible look. Eagles fans, I think they're probably fed up with it. I know some of his teammates fed up with it. Because you know what, Ocho? You know what I'm fed up with? If I have to answer questions. You ain't asking me about the game. You got me asking questions about A.J. Brown.
Yeah. Yeah, I think some players probably would be fed up with it. Some, that are friends of his, outside of the game of football, probably not. They maybe have a better understanding on what he's going through, depending on who it is. But you have some, like linemen, like linebackers, like those that are on the defensive side of the ball, that might be sick of it, you know? He's not, I'm just saying for better context and perspective, he's not the first one to walk out and not wanting to talk to the media. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think Cam, was it the Super Bowl, after the Super Bowl loss?
Yes.
Cam skipped out on the
Can't do that.
You can't do that. So the frustration is built up, and most of the time they tell you before you talk to the media after a bad game, cool down, take some time before you answer questions. But
all that Ocho is saying is fine, but I agree wholeheartedly with Shannon. To a Philly fan, we are tired of this man. There's no way that we should be watching the 49ers and the Broncos go at it. We're supposed to have been going at it. If you look at the 49ers today, you see how there's no way they should have beaten a Super Bowl winning team. But when you have someone like that, AJ Diva Brown, you can't win with that. I don't care what you do or what you say.
But actually leaving and not talking to him at all, you can't do that.
Let me ask you a question, Ocho.
Uh-huh.
Before he talked to the media when he wasn't catching balls, did he calm down before he had a conversation with the media? So you stood up there and you talked to them about how you would like to have the ball, like you would be a part of the offense?
Yes.
Because they want to say, well, they involved you today, AJ. What happened?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, listen. Hey, they were. Hey,
Preach.
That Philadelphia media after a game like that, and you got to face them, man. It's two. I think I'm thinking the Philadelphia media and the New York media.
Yes.
Boy.
Yes. I agree.
Boy, having to deal with them.
I agree. Ocho, you get no disagreement from me.
Man, hell.
Absolutely.
Hey, boy,
because they love blue collar. They love, especially Philly. Let's take Philly. We'll talk about New York media at a later date time.
It's surprising to me how in tune they are with the Eagles. They really feel how the fans feel. This is how we feel. There's no way that we should have been put through this season. You know what? A.J. Brown has sucked the oxygen out of the room. How was it that we spent the whole season, we came into the season shining. We left the last season, I think, I'm going to do a show with all the statistics to show you how many games Jalen Hurts won against all the best teams, including the Chiefs, the best team that was in the NFL, that he went to the Super Bowl twice. But we're going to show from the time that he was winning from the playoffs to the Super Bowl into the new season, how many straight games he won. And it all came to a halt when AJ Diva Brown started making these cryptic messages like he reading a book. His book was how to sabotage a Super Bowl team from winning another Super Bowl. That's what he was reading. All his antics. He made the season, the news, the media, sports media, only thing they kept talking about at that point was he was the biggest headline in NFL. It was all about AJ Diva Brown, not the best wide receivers in the league. They weren't talking about them. They weren't talking about the winning teams. They were talking about how upset he was. It was all about him while they were winning. I said I never in my life saw media talk about people for winning. Well, they're not winning the right way. So is there a right way to win? Or there's a right way to lose? What kind of nonsense was that? I couldn't believe my ears. But then as soon as he started complaining, and then they lost the following game when they start feeding him the ball. Then they talk about, oh, how can they win? But you complain when they were winning. What kind of bullshit was that? Then they lost the following game. Guess why? Jalen Hurts, he can't focus on the open man. They force him to feed AJ Diva Brown, not Smitty, not Saquon. People talk about why Saquon numbers are down. Team has to play with rhythm. Everybody's rhythm was off. Everything was revolved around AJ Diva Brown. Everything. He wasn't complaining about the offense. Y'all know that, sports media. He was complaining about his own personal stats. That's the only point he was trying to make. He didn't give a damn about Smitty breaking records. He was on his way to have one of his best seasons. He didn't care about Saquon. He didn't care about the Titans. He didn't care about anyone, the defense. He didn't care about anybody. It was all about what he looked like, what he wanted. And then the following game, guess what? They lost, feeding him the ball. Well, he got 12 targets, 11 targets. Still was dropping balls. Y'all, he didn't just start on the playoff game. He was already dropping balls. And then, what's going on with the Eagles? Because you had a toxic player on the team that took the whole city down with him. That's when it all started. When they won the Super Bowl. Oh, I don't feel anything. So guess what? Y'all not going to feel anything neither. Thank you. Thank you. And y'all got the audacity talking about his greatness is supposed to be inside out. It's not supposed to be about him. He caused us to fail. And we supposed to go through that again? Really? He's already back online with his antics. He's already was allowed to avoid the media and not face consequences. He's just not going to talk. He already said he requested how many times that he doesn't want to be on the team. Send his ass packing. If he doesn't want to be on the team, he's playing like he don't want to be on the team. Did y'all get the memo yet? All y'all die-hard AJ Diva Brown fans? Well, he's good. No, he used to be good. He wasn't good this season at all. Be honest. He wasn't diving for balls. He looked sluggish. He couldn't separate. He was dropping everything thrown to him. What Jalen Hurts was supposed to do, he was supposed to throw it to him, catch the ball, put it in AJ's hands. That's what Jalen Hurts didn't do. But y'all going to start shitting on him. That's what y'all going to stop doing. 5 different OCs, and he still have taken us to the playoffs and 2 Super Bowls? Are you kidding me? Give that man some damn credit. Y'all can't compare him to other non-winning quarterbacks. Stop that bullshit. Y'all want to talk about stats? We want to talk about Super Bowls. How many other teams never even been to a Super Bowl? This man has taken us to 2 in the last 4 years. And we were on our way. We had a Super Bowl winning team. But thank you. I think maybe AJ got some inside, maybe somebody patting his hands. They really feel how the fans feel. This is how we feel. There's no way that we should have been put through this season. You know what? AJ Brown has sucked the oxygen out of the room. How was it that we spent the whole season, we came into the season shining. We left the last season, I think I'm going to do a show with all the statistics to show you how many games Jalen Hurts won against all the best teams, including the Chiefs, the best team that was in the NFL, that he went to the Super Bowl twice. But we're going to show from the time that he was winning from the playoffs to the Super Bowl into the new season, how many straight games he won. And it all came to a halt when AJ Diva Brown started making these cryptic messages like he reading a book.
He had been talking all year. Yeah. He had been contaminating the locker room. Everybody how many times did they ask Sirianni, Ocho, you never had Mike Brown have to ask you to tone it down. Mike, Mr. Bowling, rest his soul. Art Modell, rest his soul. Never had to ask me to tone it down.
Right.
You had all of this to say when you weren't getting the ball. Now I want you to be man enough to stand. You had some opportunities, AJ. What happened? That ain't how you do business.
Yes, sir.
That ain't how you do business, Ocho. We've all had games we'd like to have back.
Mm-hmm.
But you can't ask for something, and then when you get it, that's a horrible look.
Yeah.
That is a horrible, horrible look. Eagles fans, I think they're probably fed up with it. I know some of his teammates fed up with it.
They were talking about how upset he was. It was all about him while they were winning. I said I never in my life saw media talk about people for winning. Well, they're not winning the right way. So is there a right way to win? Or there's a right way to lose? What kind of nonsense was that? I couldn't believe my ears. But then as soon as he started complaining, and then they lost the following game when they start feeding him the ball. Then they talk about, oh, how can they win? But you complained when they were winning. What kind of bullshit was that? Then they lost the following game. Guess why? Jalen Hurts, he can't focus on the open man. They force him to feed AJ Diva Brown, not Smitty, not Saquon. Jalen, you forgot to run down there and catch it for him. Catch that. Yeah. Here we go. Catch this one. Yeah. Okay. Timing is everything. Wow. This dude. Let me just yell at the coach too, because he wants to get me off the field. This dude is disgusting, but in all, We just got to love our team. I just hope we don't have another season like the one we just had. You guys don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe to Speak the Sports. We do want to go live. As soon as we get 50 subscribers, we can do some live reactions. And we're looking forward to getting to know you guys. I'm learning this is new channel. I've only been doing it since November the 30th. So it's a learning curve that I'm going through. I'm trying to use some of the new equipment and some things that I purchased. I love football. I love the fans. We're going to talk about Josh Allen, what happened in his game with the 49ers. It was a sad situation. And we're going to hope now, I'm rooting for Caleb. They're playing right now. I hope they win their playoff games. Love to see them go to the Super Bowl because Ben Johnson has done a phenomenal job. And if you think it doesn't matter who your coach is, it does matter. And Ben Johnson is an example of that. Look at where the Bears are now and look at what they've been going through for the last 15 years. So they're having an amazing season. They have an amazing quarterback, and we have an amazing quarterback, but we're going to be looking out for everyone. And fly, Eagles, fly. This is not just an Eagles channel, but I love the Eagles. So I want to get to Shador and the Browns and what's going on there. I really don't believe that Shador is going to remain on the Browns. I do believe that they're going to trade him. They want Arch Manning. They want an actual different quarterback. I know they say they're going to let him be the quarterback, but that has never been their goal. It hasn't even been an NFL goal for Shador to make it in the NFL, but because of fans and pushing the narrative that, look, give this young man a chance, I believe that their arms are being twisted. They have to let him play somewhere. But I don't know if he's going to remain in Cleveland or not. That's why I haven't bought his jersey, because I don't think he's going to want to remain being in Cleveland at the end of the day. So anyway, you guys, thanks for joining us. My name is Cindy. Go Birds. NFL. Can't wait to see who's going to wind up going to the Super Bowl. We are going to be covering it. And see you on the next Speak the Sports. Thanks, guys. Peace out.